And welcome back to Chuck's Tuesday Tips. We were off for a week or two because we had a couple other projects, but today we're going to start Toucan Sam project. But before we do that, I just want to prove to everybody that it actually is deer season already in Ojai. We already got our first buck, archery buck today. The guy's bringing in another one in about an hour. Boy, I've got flags in there. I got to get, as soon as this gets thawed out enough, I got to get this taken care of and inject these antlers. But just wanted to show that. Step one. Step two, here's a turpentine can, the martini, shaken, not stirred. It's a bobcat for the museum. We're going to start this project how I did the foxes, so we're going to stick this in here today. We've got a lot going on today. Already mounted an elk head. Okay, now what we're going to do on this is, after I said that I never use artificial heads, I'm going to skin this beak out and make a cast of this beak so we can just so we can have it. We're going to make one open mouth and one closed. And I said I usually don't use cast heads, but sometimes you have to. So I'm going to go ahead and skin this out just like the guys that do them for the duck heads. I'm going to come around the edge of the beak here. And start working my way around. I'm putting tension on the skin as I'm pulling it back, trying not to pull out any feathers. I forgot to shut the phone off. Oh well. Probably just another irate somebody. Anyway, carefully work your way around down to the lower mandible. I've never done this a toucan before, so it's brand new to me. Looks like there's a break right here, so we'll just cut it there. Come down here, start the lower mandible. Well, this is set in real deep here. This will be interesting. Oh, okay. Let's see here how I'm putting tension on to pull this down. I'm kind of learning as I'm going, as I'm doing this for you guys, because like I said, I've never done one before, so can't be afraid to get in there and just get it done. There, I got that loose. Now, come down here again. So, anyway, speaking of the Squatch Watchers, it was supposed to come out yesterday on Kickstarter, and for some reason they didn't launch it, so hopefully it'll be, well, there you go. Now I pull that back. Hopefully they'll come out this week still, and then we're going to film an early tip, believe it or not, because I'm going to have celebrity guest appearance on the next Tuesday tip, which will be filmed on Saturday, since they're going to be here on Saturday. Okay, it's completely loose now. Now we have to start working it back. And I don't know how long this was in the freezer. This is a privately owned banded bird somewhere, and a lot of times these people leave them in forever. and they dry right to the top of the skull. Start drying out right away. But you just work it back like anything else you're skinning. At least it's cooled off a bit since our last tip. Last time it was a balmy 100 and something, 113 or can't remember. Had to put a towel on my head.
152 in the shade, Chuck.
That's it. 152. Hotter than on the surface of the moon. Boy, this is really tight right here. Let's try it this way. Turn my knife over. There we go. That's got it. Wow, what a tendon, man. Wonder how much beak pressure these things have. Probably a lot, huh?
I'd imagine enough to take your finger off.
Yeah, because this thing's like welded on right there. Still doesn't want to. Look how far back it goes too, which is interesting. On a normal jaw, it'd be just stopped right there and you'd be going back, but this comes back quite a ways. You can see how when you open it, look at that tongue. That's interesting. Look at the sharpness. Man, that would hurt. Bet these are related to like a velociraptor or something. So we're going to pose this with a Fruit Loops box. Right?
That's right.
Okay.
He's standing on it, right?
Yep. Do they even have Toucan Sam anymore, or is that just from when I was a kid?
No, it's still there.
Is it? Because,
now he's got 3 nephews.
oh, he does? Boy, I'm out of touch. What are their names? Huey, Louie, and Dewey?
No, wrong species. And company.
Okay. Mo, Larry, and Shemp?
If only we were lucky enough.
Alright. Let's see. I'm running out of... Who else?
Running out of trio references?
Yeah. How about... Name one. You know what?
Pet Boys, Manny, Mo, and Jack.
Oh, Manny, Mo, and Jack. That's right. So, I forgot to mention that I didn't unthaw this overnight. I took it out about, oh, I don't know, 45 minutes or an hour ago. Put it in a bucket of water with ammonia. And in hindsight, I should have injected the head with some ammonia water to loosen this tight skin up. But this isn't a race, as much as I'd like to already be done. And like I said, I don't usually in the habit of skinning out the heads for the artificial heads, because we don't use them. We carve some out of foam like in those ducks, and then we pin the beak to it. Okay, I think I'm gained on it now. Because look how far back it's still going, where it's attached to the bone right there. It's hard to see. Keeps just going and going. Boy, this is a gift that keeps on giving. If we were skinning out a duck head, we'd have been done a long time ago. Then we'll skin out the rest of the bird. And I'm going to show you a different way to do that. I might have already done it, but I think when I was doing a full bird tip, something happened to the video and it got messed up. I don't know if I've ever done one on skinning a full one. There we go. Now we're past it. Hey, you know how this guy said this thing had blue eyes? I don't think this thing had blue eyes at all. They don't look blue.
I believe he said it was 6 months on the timeline in terms of being frozen.
6 months? Oh, that explains a lot. Because you know what? He had it in a Vaughn's bag.
Oh.
You know, just one of those
Yeah,
plastic grocery bags with the handles. That is not what you want to freeze your specimens in at all, because that gives you no protection from freezer burn at all. Okay, now see, I'm just about there now. Okay, see, interesting. So we're gonna maybe I already said this, I can't remember. We're gonna cast the beak on this, and then we're gonna do like that guy, my buddy, on immortalizers, and make chickens and with toucan beaks and maybe a dinosaur fake thing or something cool. Well, look how little the ear hole is on that.
Let me see that again. I'll zoom in on that.
See? And probably I'm not even going to use a fake head on this one. I'm probably going to put this head back in, but whatever it is, I'll film when I mount it. Okay, so that's skinned out. I can cut our head right off at the thing here. Now, when my buddy comes by to make the molds, I'm going to try and film molding this head. Got a friend of mine who owns a company where he makes all the rocks for the movies and whatnot. There we go. Interesting. So we're going to set that aside right now. Now, most guys do a vent incision on the bird. I'm going to do what's called a technique that was done over at Jonas Brothers back in the day in the Denver Museum. It's called the French method, I guess because the French invented it. But we're going to go down the back just like a dorsal cut. We're going to spread the feathers. And it sounds goofy to go down the back, but once you get used to it, man, it's really easier to wire up your bird.
Chuck, we're coming up on 15. You want to?
No, I'm going to keep
Good
going.
deal.
Appreciate it.
Of course.
Because I'm almost, see, we're home free almost. Boy, this is tight on the back too. See that freezer burn up on the pelvis? Try and make one straight cut. There we go. And we'll just start. And you can start using your borax right away to start moving your skin. Off. And Jeff, what I'll do is I'll get the body out, but we won't, we'll do the cleaning of it on a separate one.
Gotcha.
So I'm just going to take the body out right now. And what I said about it being easier to wire and stuff is, if you'll notice that your joints are all up here on the top instead of the bottom. And so it's easier to cut them up, and then when you go to wire the bird, it's easier because it's all up at the top. You're not going in from underneath. There's one wing. We'll leave what's it called that you walk on? Feet and a leg.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut the leg at the knee joint, just like any other bird. Leave that leg bone in. We'll come back now to the tail. Work our way around to the other leg. This is a really old knife I'm using today too, because my really good one, I don't know what happened at the museum thing. I packed all my stuff to mount that life-size deer on Sunday at the museum. Packed all my super good knives. Well, they're all the same, but this one's just old. And now I don't know where they are. Use your fingers wherever you can to separate, instead of putting a knife or scalpel. I'd say probably 99.9999% of people use scalpels instead of knives, but not here. Basically, that's me and the guy who taught me just use knives, because the guys that taught him are no longer living. Well, I think one of them's still alive. Henry Winchers is still alive, I think. He actually got a Lifetime Achievement Award for taxidermy in 2007. I think that's the only guy who's ever got a Lifetime Achievement Award for taxidermy. Okay, just about there now. Be careful around the gut sac, because you don't want to pop the gut sac, because we're going to need to measure the body and all that. Cut the vent off right here. There we go, perfect. Wow, look how long this tail goes down. Check that out. When you're used to working on upland birds or ducks and geese, there we go. So here's our skinned out toucan with our parts. We're going to save this, measure this up, wrap a body, measure the neck, and we still got 2 tips hopefully left out of this. One will be casting the beak, one will be finishing skinning, and then we'll actually put it together. And then in the meanwhile, I got all these other projects that I'm halfway through filming. So thanks for tuning in to Chuck's Tuesday Tips. Oh, we'll see you at VidCon August 1st. Out.